Okay, so today's video is just going to be a simple Q&A video because I haven't done one in about a year almost. So obviously the channel has grown since then. Figured I'd just do another video of just answering questions because it's a lot more personable rather than just me talk about March like I usually do. I asked you guys questions both on Twitter and in my previous video. So let's get started. What are your glass containers called? Are there any recommended stores or online stores to purchase some? I apologize, I'm still new to collecting figures and I love your room. So the glass shelves that I have back here are called Detolfs or Detolfs. I don't know how you want to call them. I got them from IKEA. You could probably order them from IKEA online, I think, if you really wanted to. I got them for about 60 to 80 bucks Canadian, so yeah, I can't remember the exact price. But yeah, they're kind of like the mainstream shelves for figure collectors. Because, you know, they look nice and they're pretty decent for the buck, so. Rate Inuyasha 1 through 10. If you asked me like this question like 6 years ago, I probably would have gave it like a 10. Right now, I'm probably going to give it like an 8 or a 9. I'm super hyped up for the little spin-off sequel that they got going on concerning their kids. The PV trailer for it has already given me like nostalgia throwback vibes to like the early 2000s. And also a lot of people in the fandom are curious to see who your profile picture ended up having children with. So, yeah. Oh boy. How do you keep yourself from getting burned out on anime and making videos for the channel? I don't really get burned out on making videos just because I take so long to make a video, so I don't really get burned out on there. It's very time consuming though. And getting burned out on an anime is kind of just like another thing for me, I think, just because I don't know, I've grown up with anime pretty much my whole life, so I've never really been burned out on it. How can you afford the figures? You get a job and you just work a crap ton of hours. I mean, that's how I've done it. I just checked this guy's profile. A medium-sized whale in FGO. Dude, this guy has more MP5s than I do. Alright, so this is just a personal opinion of mine. Take it or leave it, but I think if you spent less money on, you know, mobile gacha games, you'd have more money to buy figures. It's just a thought. Oh my god. Guy asks me how I afford figures, and he spends a shit ton on a mobile game. Where do you stream anime? Not Kiss Anime. Yeah, Haruko's right about that. No, I stream most of my anime on Crunchyroll. I know a lot of people have like issues with Crunchyroll and everything, but I've been using Crunchyroll since like 2007, so you know, it's just a lot convenient and I've been using it for a long time, so it's just kind of hard to get out of. Also, it's very convenient. Like, I just load up the app on my phone and you just Chromecast it to the TV. It's that simple. For any anime that's not on Crunchyroll, I will literally just torrent it. What's your thoughts on Aquamarine going bankrupt, and what do you think will happen to all the scale figures announced, like Nobu or Summer Raiko? Now, if this is your first time hearing the news from me, I'm sorry I have to deliver this bad news to you, but Aquamarine, the figure manufacturer, did file for bankruptcy a couple of weeks ago. From what I know, all their figures that they announced are definitely canceled, of course, and if you've already prepaid for a couple of these, maybe you should probably look into getting refunded. In fact, you should be getting refunded. Yeah, it's very heartbreaking. I only got one Aquamarine figure, which is my EO one. They did announce like Bunny Arturia, which I was looking forward to, but hopefully Freeing picks up that figure just because I know they're like known for bunny figures, so yeah, Freeing, hopefully they pick that up, but yeah, kind of sucks. Are you a Hololive simp? I unfortunately have to say yes. So for the longest time, I've tried to stay away from VTubers, but one of my friends in our friend group has been like into them since like the very beginning, and he would constantly try to get all of us into VTubers, and in the last few months he's pretty much converted our whole friend group into VTubers. Like, he'd always send us like video clips and tell us how excited he is for like the next VTuber stream he's gonna watch. So how he got me was he sent me a clip of Suisei playing Tetris, right? He knows I like Tetris 99, so he sent me a clip of Suisei playing Tetris, and I kind of got hooked on her from there, right? So I watched Suisei for the longest time. And then I watched her play Project Winter with a couple of other VTubers, and that it went downhill from there. Like, I got into Fubuki, Korone, Mio, Okayu, Pekora, Watame, like, yeah, I went deep down the rabbit hole. But yeah, I love them. They're all great. Bolton is like a recent favorite of mine. I absolutely love her. Are you rolling for Summer Servants? Yeah, about that.
Okay. Oh, here we go, baby! Oh, well, there you go, man. Ew, you left the call. You left the call. Oh my god, another gold! I got Ilya! I got Ilya! Damn, look at that roll, bro. Oh, here we go, boys! Ah, there we go. Thank you. Thank you. That's all I needed. That's all I wanted. That's all I wanted. All I needed. Alright, sick.
Yeah, I pretty much got all the summer servants I wanted, except for Abby. But I only literally wanted her just because she's a 5-star. I have all the 5-star swimsuit servants. Well, I did. Abby's missing now, so I can't really say I have all the 5-star swimsuit servants now. But yeah, she was the only one I am missing now. Kind of sucks. I didn't really want to spend money on her because I didn't want her that much, aside from the fact that she's a 5-star, but that was pretty much it. Will you get a bigger space when you completely fill up your current room? This is like one goal that I have in the back of my head that I really want to do. Is like, I want to like transform my garage into like a studio space just for filming videos, because you guys know my room is relatively big, right? I'm very thankful for that, but when you put like the table here that I do videos on and the various lighting equipment and film gear that I have, it gets very cramped and it's hard to move around. I've tripped on a lot of cords for my light stands and they've fallen over, and then the bulbs end up breaking. I've broken a lot of light bulbs in this room. My god. But yeah, I'd love to do that. If this channel ever like takes off and things, I'd love to renovate my garage, because right now my garage is literally just a storage space. We put stuff we want to throw away but also don't want to throw away at the same time into the garage. It's very dusty. It's an old place. I would love to renovate that and turn that into like a studio space, but that's not until far into the future, if ever. Favorite figure from this year? It'd probably have to be the figure I literally just did a video on. If you haven't checked out my previous figure video, definitely should share it to all of your friends, man, because, you know, I don't like to brag, but I'm pretty proud of how I did the intro for that video. Thoughts on Kiss Anime being shut down? I could literally care less. I know a lot of people have used Kiss Anime. For me, I've just never touched it, so it's whatever. Where do you find the time to read manga, play games and visual novels, and watch every seasonal anime you have interest in, and maintain a job at school and YouTube? Alright, so easiest answer to this question is lack of sleep. I probably only average like 5 to 6 hours of sleep, 7 if I'm lucky, depending on what I have to do the next day. I read manga most of the time. I play games a little bit. Visual novels, I haven't touched visual novels since like last year. The last visual novel I played was like literally Muv-Luv Photon Flowers. I have Photon Melodies that I still need to play because it literally just came out a little bit ago. For seasonal anime, I don't keep up with a lot of seasonal anime as much as I used to. I remember back in like 2013, I'd literally watch every single seasonal anime that I was interested in, and I'd watch the anime the day the episode came out. So I don't really do that nowadays. I literally keep up with like 1 or 2, and everything else I'll catch up at the end. With regards to my job, I'm only working 2 days a week now just because of school. I wasn't really going to school because of COVID, but this semester everything's online, so I was like, yeah, I guess I'll go back. So yeah, everything's online for school now, so it's a lot easier. I don't have to commute all the way over there. But best girl from Snafu. Well, I can tell you one thing, it's definitely not your profile picture. Best girl for me would probably either have to be Yukino or Kawasaki. Sensei's a pretty good choice too. But yeah, we already know who's gonna win. At least you should. I mean, I've known for the longest time now because the novels ended quite a bit ago, but yeah, I'm pretty happy. What figure would you like of the characters of Arknights, and who's your favorite? I guess you could say Siege is my favorite for very obvious reasons. And a figurine of Siege in like her skin, oh, that'd be sick. There's a lot of characters of Arknights I would love that figure of. Like Hoshiguba in her latest skin, oh, shit's killer. I'd also like to have a figure of like Lapland in her skin. There's a lot. You guys see the Blaze figure that went up a while ago? I pre-ordered that shit like day 1. I cannot wait to get that figure in. Oh my god, it's gonna be so great. Favorite Call of Duty? Definitely COD 4, Modern Warfare. That all gillied up is definitely one of my favorite campaign missions of all time. Least favorite figurine? Ever been scammed? Nope, I've never been scammed, and my least favorite figurine is probably either my God Eater figure of Alisa or my Hatsune Miku Greatest Idol figure. I like those figures though, but if I had to pick my least favorite, those are probably it. Favorite older anime before the 2000s? Now, I could probably go with classics like Cowboy Bebop or Trigun, but I'm just gonna go for Gundam Wing. Are there any figure horror stories you could tell us? I've had a few myself, but as a bigger profile, I'm sure you've had a few. Bigger profile? I'd consider myself relatively small, but thanks. But in terms of horror figure stories, what do you mean by that? Like, the closest thing I have for you is like stories that I've broken a figure. I've already told this story multiple times, but it happened at this very desk too, right here in this spot. I used to have a figure here. I don't anymore for obvious reasons. I still have figures here because nothing really happens on this side of the table, but here, this is like the gray zone. I had my Congo from KenKen collection figure here, right? And I was playing Silent Voltex on my desk. You guys know Silent Voltex, fantastic rhythm game. I have the controller right here, you can see right there. And I had it here, and usually when I play, I hit the buttons pretty hard, and it shakes the desk. Like, the desk is already actually very shakeable. I think I was playing Plastic Riots, and as I was playing the song, the table got so shaky, Congo fell off the desk, and her ahoge, you know, the hair that sticks out, broke. At the time, I didn't really think about using glue to fix it. I very well could have, but I've misplaced it now that I think about it, and I don't know where I put the piece. So the figure is like literally right there, if you can see on top of my head, barely. So yeah, that's literally like the closest thing I have for you there. Another one is like when I had my mommy from Madoka, I took her out of the box and her finger like literally instantly broke off. Yeah, that was pretty sad too. Have you ever bought anything from Japan recently, and how has human malware affected your purchases? Shipping has been a complete nightmare for me. Okay, well, I find this question very weird, because if I didn't buy anything from Japan, you wouldn't have been seeing any videos from me for like the past 6 months. So obviously I have been buying stuff from Japan, and I have been getting my stuff from Japan. A lot of my friends in the US haven't been able to buy anything from Japan because Japan Post isn't shipping out to the US, at least at the moment. You'd have to go with DHL, and we all know how ridiculous DHL is. Thankfully, I'm still getting my packages. The only difference is that EMS takes like an extra week and a half or so, but that's about it. How has your relationship with anime changed as you've gotten older? Have your preferences and habits changed, or are they still the same? I think my preferences in anime have changed. Like, I'm not into shonen stuff as much as I used to be. I've definitely become more degenerate, though. But yeah, my relationship with anime has generally stayed the same, I think. Will you go to Japan again someday? Of course, I'd love to. I'd have to save up way more money, though. Last time I went to Japan was back in 2016, and I saved up about like $2,000 just solely for anime merch. I spent literally all of that first day I went to Akiba, so next time I go to Japan, I definitely have to save up more. Any thoughts on hentai figures? Example, Olga from Kurino. Hot character, by the way. Or lewd figurines of original characters, and would you buy and collect them? Like, I'm all for buying like Dakimakuras and stuff, but in terms of hentai figurines, probably not, just because like, I'm okay with buying the occasional like lewd figurine, but like not straight up hentai figurines, right? This is another thing, like, I like buying figures of characters that I already like and I know, and I'm very invested into their franchises that they're from, so I wouldn't buy lewd figurines of original characters, and I probably wouldn't buy figurines of original characters in general, right? Like, there needs to be, like, sentimental attachment for me to buy a figure. And with original characters, you're literally just buying the figure just because it looks nice, and for me, that just seems like a waste of money. Even though, like, that's the whole point of a figure, is to look nice, but for me, when I'm buying a figure, I need, like, that other point of value in there. Are you excited about Fate's Day Night Heaven's Feel Part 3 Spring Song? I have no idea why you'd ask me this, because, I don't really look like a huge Fate fan, do I? Are you planning on doing a video in which you explain the Natsu-verse? No, I'm not really a huge fairy tale fan, so I'm not really gonna make a video explaining the whole universe of Natsu, right? So, yeah. How much money per month do you spend on anime merch? It really depends, but I think on average, I probably spend like about $200. Sometimes I could spend $0, because sometimes there are months that are rare that I don't have any figures. So, yeah. If you ever decide to move out for whatever reason, how would you deal with moving all of the figures? I'd be worried if any figures get scuffed during delivery. I find this to be the biggest blockade when it comes to figure collecting. Now, moving would be a big pain in the ass, but luckily for me, I have kept every single figure box for every single figure I've purchased, even the prize figures, so I literally will just throw them back in the box. That's about it. And the cool thing for me is that I've recorded almost all the unboxings for every single figure. I can just literally go back to the video and see how the figure was inside the box, so I could just put it exactly the same way. So, yeah. Could you make a tutorial on how to order via proxy services for Yahoo Auctions or Rakuten, Mercari, etc.? I don't think I need to, because most of the proxy services have like a how-to guide on like their website. Like if you go to their Zen Market, for example. For example, I use Bai, and I'll give you like a quick rundown on how to use it. They're not sponsoring this video or anything, but when you go on the Bai website, you literally have tabs for the sites that you've mentioned, so you can literally just click on Yahoo Auctions and just search up whatever you want, right? You also have like a little Bai extension for Chrome, so if you're on a website that's not on those tabs on Bai's main website, like Melon Books, for example, and you want to add like item to cart, they literally just have the thing, you can just click it and add it to your Bai cart, and that's pretty good. Bai doesn't work with like every website, but it works with most I've used. I think out of convenience, Bai is like the easiest one, but definitely do your research to find out which proxy shipping service is right for you. There's a lot of different services, and I'm not really going to make a general tutorial on how to shop at each one. I just gave you a breakdown of one that I've used, so there you go. What do you think of Konosuba and Haikyuu, and what about ReZero? I don't see any figures of those franchises in your collection. Alright, so I get this question a lot, especially on my room tours, is like, you don't have this series in your collection. Are you crazy? Just because I don't have like a figure or a piece of merch from a particular franchise doesn't mean that I don't like that franchise, right? Like, I love Konosuba. I think it's hilarious. I went to go watch the movie for it in theaters, and it was absolute great time. I know a lot of people like to have variety in their figure collections and stuff, but for me, I try to save money by only spending on a franchise I really care about. So I try to prioritize my money to Type Moon stuff, which typically correlates to Fate stuff, because that's all what Type Moon cares about nowadays is Fate. Otherwise, I'd be buying like a shit ton of Arc-Grade figures, but that's not the case. So yeah, just because I don't own any figures from like Konosuba or, you know, any other franchise doesn't mean I hate the franchise, it just means I prioritize other things over it. Which is another reason why I haven't bought like a Madoka Magica figure since like 2016. Unless you include Devil Homura. But that was already on my wish list to get, so I had to get it eventually. Like Steins Gate, for example, favorite anime of all time. I haven't bought a Steins Gate figure in probably about like 3 years or so. 3-4 years, yeah, it's been quite a while since I bought a Steins Gate figure, so yeah, ridiculous, I know. Will you plan to do a video about upcoming anime on fall 2020 or focus on anime merch haul videos? The upcoming anime fall video has actually already been in the process of being worked on, so we're finally gonna get that out. I think I haven't done one of those videos in like over a year now, so let's get back into it. Kiss Anime is gone. What do? I don't know why you're coming to me for this. Like, what? Is it fine if you never really clean the figures? Because mine are all in a detolf and I'm too lazy to clean them. I guess if you never really clean your figures, it's fine. Unless you want them to end up like this. Yours are in a detolf though, so you could probably get away with like a couple of months of not dusting it. But like, you're gonna want to dust them eventually. How do you store Nendroid parts? I have a system, but I would like to see other methods. I'm probably like the worst person to go to this for this, because I don't store my Nendroid parts. I literally just put them back in the box and I store the box and that's it. When I buy a Nendroid, I find a pose that I like and I just keep them in that pose and I throw the rest of the parts in the box and I store the box and then I air them out every once in a while so they don't get sticky. But that's it. I know eBay is not the place to buy figures, although there are some legitimate shops, but it'd be best to use this as a last resort, or better to altogether to just miss out on the figure. I also noticed the BGM in this video. Are you also a Kiseki fan? Yes, I'm a huge Trails fan. I love that franchise. Cold Steel 4 is coming out next month, October 28th, and I'm super excited to play that game. Oh my god, I'm probably going to sit on my couch for like a week straight and just play it. And then I'm gonna cry after I finish it. But yeah, I know I said in my previous videos like to stay away from eBay, but that's usually just advice I give to like newcomers because they don't know what they're doing. I've seen a lot of newbies who are into figures and they buy their first figure from eBay and they end up buying a bootleg, right? But if you know what you're doing, I think eBay is a pretty decent option if you're looking for a more rare figure. I would recommend checking on myfigurecollection.net to see if anybody else is selling that figure before you jump to eBay. That's just my opinion, but yeah. I'm a high school student and I already started a little collection of prize figures. Should I keep going with prize figures until I actually make some money, or save up for a while and buy a scale? Now, this literally just depends on you, right? For example, when I started getting into figure collecting, I didn't even know prize figures existed, so I went straight for scales, right? But I do think it was more worth it in the long run, because I mean, scales are a lot more high quality, but it literally just depends on you. I'd say save up for your first scale if you don't have one, and then after you buy it, if you think the scale was worth it, save up and buy some more. Otherwise, just go back to prize figures. It's really just up to you, man. Rank your top 5 Type Moon titles. Every Fate title is separate. Tsukihime, Fates Tonight, Karno Kyokai, Mahoyo. Mahoyo is not even fully translated yet, but I can tell you right now, after I finish that, it's definitely going to be up in my top 5. Last one, Emiya Gohan. I don't know if that counts, but I'm counting it. Do you play FPS games, and have you thought about streaming? Yes, I do stream occasionally. I haven't been streaming in the past few months, though, just because I've been having a couple of internet problems, just disconnections, and it's honestly been very frustrating. But yeah, I'll leave my Twitch here and also in the description. You can chill out and follow me whenever we stream. I do stream at the most random times though, but if you want to tune in, feel free. FPS games, I do like FPS games. I'm a big Halo fan, so the only FPS game now that I really play is probably like Counter-Strike with the homies, even though we all suck. So we literally just play for fun. Okay, so that's pretty much it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. It was kind of lengthy, I think. Actually, I don't know. We'll see how much I can edit it down, but yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace. Huge thanks to my patrons Saswat, Beast, Catweiss, Ralku, Malahat, Kitsu-chan, Protectoka, Obsessed Shadow, Tiso, Zexi, Satsui, and Casual Arrogance. You guys are awesome.